Hi, I'm Linda Mathis. I'm CEO of your American Red Cross in the National Capital Region. And I want to thank you, Donna Cooper, and your PEPCO team and the leadership of PEPCO for including the American Red Cross in this important discussion about preparedness. We value so much the kind of working relationship we have with PEPCO and our other organizations here today that helps us together help prepare our community, help our community respond to emergencies, and then recover from them when they do occur. We're fortunate to have some great and ongoing working relationships that help us help people before, during, and after emergencies. As we kick off the summer storm season, this hurricane season, we all know how important it is to prepare. It seems the season of sunshine and storms happens every year. It seems we just don't need any more reminders of how important preparedness is. The recent heavy floods, the heavy winds a couple of years ago, the derecho, the microburst, the slow slope failure, these big ones, as well as the everyday fires that occur in our community that burn one or more families out of their homes. All of these are reminders, compelling reminders, of just how important it is for all of us to be prepared. And you've heard reminders of this today, and I'm just going to continue the reminding. Experience, and we have lots of it, tells us that effective disaster preparation can protect property, it can speed recovery, it can reduce disruption, it can save lives. Who doesn't want all of that? Those people best prepared to care for themselves and their loved ones following a disaster reduce suffering and disruption in their own lives. They reduce demands on the emergency services personnel, and they position themselves to help others in their community recover even more quickly. So what do we need to do? Prepare. The experience we've had tells us that there are some basic actions that can make a difference. Now, you've heard about these actions before because they're simple, they're basic, they're fundamental, they're tried and true. They make a difference. But what's new about preparedness are some of the tools and the resources that are now available to make preparedness, the process of preparing, easier, more readily accessible, and even enjoyable. The basic actions, let me remind you. Make a plan. If you have one, update it, refresh it. Take a look at the forthcoming summer in your neighborhood, in your particular community, and find out, as Chris said, what kind of hazards are typical for your area. Make the plan. It's not enough just to think about it in our heads. We need to write it down and talk about it with our family members. Every family member needs to know what the plan is. Test it, practice it, update it. We urge every household, all of us, to have a family emergency plan. And if you have a child or if you have a senior, I have a 90-year-old mother. I've made sure that the assisted living facility where she is has a plan so that I can be confident that mom is being taken care of while I do what I need to do. If you have a child, find out what the school's plan is. You're going to want to know what the school or the summer program your child is participating in, what their plans are. Now, we have lots of templates and tools that help people know what kinds of things to include in a plan, and we can talk about that later if you'd like. A second major action is to get a kit. Assemble an emergency supplies kit. Assemble the kinds of items that will sustain you and your family for 3 to 5 days. We ask everybody to be self-sustaining for 3 to 5 days. Think about the kinds of medications, the level of food and water and clothing and comfort items that would be important to sustain you and your family, your child, your person of special needs for 3 to 5 days. Sometimes the best action we can take is to stay put. The officials will tell us when it's important for us to stay right where we are, in our office or in our home. To do that effectively, we need to make sure we've got the emergency supplies we will need in our home, in our office, and in our car. Where do we spend a lot of time in this area? Typically in a car. One Red Cross survey tells us that only 28% of households have emergency kits. Only 28%. Now, we have lists of suggested items, but it's important for people to really think through and personalize their own items. One corporate leader I know involves his kids and regularly, actually about 4 times a year, taking items out of the family's emergency preparedness kits and checking for expiration dates. It's a great way to involve young people and not build in fear, but build in confidence and empowerment. So young people know what to do and how to do it, and they have a sense of confidence that their family is prepared. Water, granola bars, batteries, they all have expiration dates. So follow the lead on this and check your kits if you have them, and if you don't, assemble them. A third major action is to be informed, and Chris elaborated on that. Let me repeat it. We all need a way of staying informed about what the disaster is, what the conditions are, and what we should do about it. Battery-operated radios are a great way. Our Red Cross mobile apps have alert systems that are very useful, and then there are community alerts, and Donna mentioned some resources as well. Again, if the best thing for us to do is stay put, we need to have a way of staying informed about that kind of direction. With regard to preparedness and with regard to resources to help with preparedness, the Red Cross has a number of different tools and resources available for people. Some of the most exciting resources we have, at least I think so, are our mobile apps. We now have 7 mobile apps. We have the newest one is a pet first aid app. How many people have pets? Many people do, and so a great way to help each of us take care of our pets and think about them in disaster situations is to access our new pet first aid app. We also have a hurricane app, which is a fantastic resource that provides templates for planning, templates and tips that help people know what to do before the disaster and during and after. Just some really easy to access tools and resources. Strobe light, other toolkit items that are particularly helpful. And the app builds in some use of social media to help you tell your loved ones you're okay during or after a disaster. That's an important part of the process. There's preloaded information on these apps. It's a great way of making help available in the palm of your hand. We encourage everybody who uses iPhones or Droid phones to find out about these resources and use them. They're interactive, they build in quizzes, and you can personalize them. They work, most importantly, they work. They save lives, and I encourage any of you to read the reviews about these apps, and you will see for yourself example after example of how people have used them in ways that have actually resulted in the saving of lives. Now, while apps can help people prepare for disaster, they're no substitute for training. So we encourage people to access our website and find out about training, like first aid training and CPR training, disaster preparedness kinds of training. There are all kinds of resources there. Now, Red Cross, we're very serious about preparedness. We'll be there for you in times of disaster, but we want to do everything we can to make it easy for people to prepare. So you'll find on our website and in other ways a number of different resources, templates, plans, an online tutorial on how to be ready, a ready rating program for companies and schools and foundations, a no-cost, easy-to-use online assessment that includes some tips on what to do and how to do it. And then we have an employee engagement program, too, ready when the time comes, so that companies who want to get their employees involved in being ready when disasters occur can participate in some training in advance so they're ready when disasters occur. Why is all this so important? Well, it's because disasters are far more common than people realize. The Red Cross typically, in the course of a given year, responds to over 70,000 disasters nationwide every year. Over 70,000. Now, most of these are house fires, but this number also includes hurricanes, tornadoes, flooding, hazardous material incidents, transportation incidents. Here locally, we respond typically to about 500. About 500. Most of these are fires, but not totally. We also have, as you've heard already today, tornadoes and flooding and hazardous material accidents. The derecho, the slow slope failure. We've had it all in this community, and it's absolutely essential that we be ready for whatever unfolds. Now, as I mentioned earlier, our volunteers, like those we have with us here today, will be there for people when disasters occur. We work 24/7. We'll be there providing food and clothing and safe shelter, comfort items, emotional support, an array of emergency services our teams provide every day and every night. We do all of this in collaboration with the great network of public and private and nonprofit partners we have, including those with us here today. Again, our mission is to prevent and alleviate human suffering, to be there for people in times of emergency, and to do all we can to help people avoid emergencies and know what to do to prepare for them. No matter what survey I look at, it tells me the same thing. Not enough people have taken preparedness seriously and have taken one or more actions to prepare themselves. So let's do this, and let's do it together. Let's do it now. In the midst of a storm is not the time to be preparing. The time to do it when the sun is shining on a beautiful day like this. And I ask everybody to take at least one action today to create or update, improve your preparedness plans and those of your loved ones, also your work colleagues. To find out more about Red Cross resources available for you, click on our website, call us, text us, email us. We're easy to find, www.redcross.org. We're just a phone call or click away. I want to thank PEPCO for the extraordinary leadership they are giving to this effort. We appreciate so much the support they give us and others that helps us be there for people when they most need us. Thank you very much.